Hey y'all, hope everyone is doing good. I'm really excited about what I have for y'all today. A few months back, I interviewed Joseph, Jared, and Colby. It's number 33 on my channel. Well, Joseph and Colby have both had multiple encounters. Well, I finally got the chance to interview Colby. And he's had 3 encounters. And the way I did it was when I was interviewing him, I recorded each encounter separately. Well, I have decided to combine the first 2 together, and then the last one do it on its own because it's longer. So once you start listening to his encounter story, his first one, stay on because I will take it into the second one. Now the third one, y'all, it's a terrifying encounter. It'll have you gripping your seat. So, and like I said, I'll have it out hopefully in a few days. So, be watching for that. But anyways, I'm going to quit talking and get on with this. Today I'm going to be interviewing Colby. He is part of the family, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
And he's had several encounters with Sasquatch, and he's going to tell us his encounters. So you can take it from here, Colby.
Alrighty. Well, as she said, my name's Colby. Anyways, I'm a big-time deer hunter, bow hunt, a rifle hunt, and a lot of these encounters have actually two of the 3 encounters have come from bow hunting, and the last one come with a rifle. You'll see other parts of my encounters in later on videos. But the first story all started out, I was probably 16 years old. I was still in high school, and my cousin went down to the bottoms, and I was just getting introduced to hunting river bottom land, and he always told me about this foot track he'd always see. It'd probably, it'd equal out to a size 14 shoe or so, and I never really got to see it that year. And he took me down there to part of the property he always hunted, and yeah, I seen it, and I started hunting that patch of timber, and I'd always hear noises, and I'd always hear screams and screeches right at last little bit of light, right towards dark, and so I'd never stay in the woods too terribly late on that. And fast forward a few years, I never seen them after I heard them and seen that track for about, 6-7 years, but I'd always hear them. When I was down there hunting, it always give me a cold chill down my back. And we were out hunting one afternoon. I put in a boat, me and their brother, we put in down there, and we were bow hunting. And seen a few deer that morning, and anyways, I seen something out of the corner of my eye, and I looked over towards my right, and I seen something walking up, and I thought it was their brother messing with me. And I got to looking. It was probably 70 yards down through there, and I was like, why is he messing with me? I mean, it was one of them you had to turn your head and look, and quite a few times, and I got to looking, I was like, well, kind of his build, and it kind of looks like what he was wearing that day when we come out here. And squirrels started going nuts, and birds just went quiet. It just got eerie quiet, and the wind shut down and everything. I was like, something ain't right. And I looked back and it was gone. And I just kept my eye right there for the next 30, 45 minutes, and I thought it was him just messing with me, just trying to scare me or whatever. He's done it in the past. And next thing I know, I heard something. I turned around. He was coming up behind me. I was like, what the heck? And I asked him, I was like, was that not you? He said, no, I was way upriver. And I was like, oh boy. And I said, do me a favor, go stand by that tree. And I said, I want to see where your head was right next to that limb. He said, that wasn't me. I said, I could have swore it was. And he went up there, and it was probably 4 feet over his head where that limb was, and his head was right there beside it. And it almost looked like he crashed down a little bit too whenever he was beside that limb. So his head probably would have been sticking up probably that much past the limb, or even dead on with it. So that right there is the first incident I've ever had with him, and it kind of freaked me out. It put me on edge, and I ain't stepping foot back up in that patch of timber without nobody either with me staying past dark, or I ain't staying past dark.
Yeah. So you think that thing was probably about 10 foot tall? Probably?
9, 10, yeah.
9, 10? Wow.
And it was probably every bit of 3.5, 4 foot shoulder wide.
Wow.
And it looked like somebody about that tall wearing a ghillie suit, and more of a browner color ghillie suit. And a lot of times, I mean, y'all know what y'all's brother wears when he's hunting. He wears that old timey stuff. And, and especially during the wintertime when we were hunting then, wearing heavier set clothing, and I thought it was just him messing with me, and it wasn't. Yeah. And it turns out that when he got down there, he looked like an ant compared to where he was standing. But we could never see any tracks or nothing. It was crazy.
Yeah. Well, thanks for sharing that with us.
Thank you.
This is Colby's second encounter story.
Welcome back. I told you you'd be hearing a lot more from me. I've got a few more encounters. Wait till the next video, and you'll see the real good one. And that's the one that's put me on edge the most. With this one that I'm going to be talking about today, once again, it was with their brother, and we're on the river fishing. I ain't gonna name where it is for security purposes, but we were out there fishing. We were doing an all-nighter, and I've always been told, he's always told me, and I've been told by a lot of old timers on that specific river that there's always been sightings of Bigfoot. And I've never had my share of them on the riverbank itself. But that night specifically, we were sitting in my boat. We were doing some catfishing. We were catching a few. And anyways, we kept hearing something thrown into the water. We're like, what the heck is that? Which we thought we seen a muskrat coming down the river, and then we seen a beaver, and we thought it was that, and it wasn't that. And kept hearing something in the brush right across the river. The river channel probably wasn't 35, 40 yards wide where we were. And anyways, we kept hearing that, and that went on for about an hour. And we kept hearing it walking around. And for some reason, it wasn't happy we were right there. And kept hearing almost like something throwing rocks in the water. And kept getting closer to the boat. And next thing we know, we looked up and we seen it. And I seen it. There was probably a 7-foot sapling and one of them willows. And when it went beside it, it was even with the top of it. But the willow tree was probably about that wide. And when it walked broadside, you still could barely see it on each side. So when it's sideways with shoulder, from chest to back, I guarantee it was every bit of that wide. And that you don't see a man like that unless he's a bodybuilder.
Yeah.
And being out there in the middle of the river bottoms like that, you ain't gonna see nobody. And we probably seen it walk, I don't know, I'd say 60, 70 yards back and forth, up and down through the brush. Oh, excuse me. And it done that for the next 30, 45 minutes while we were there, and we finally just got too eerie of the feeling, like, yeah, it's staying right there, it's watching us. So we untied the boat and we went down the river probably a quarter mile, and it wasn't long. We didn't fire the motor up, we just putted a ways from it, probably 100 yards, and then we fired the motor up and took off down. And when we finally stopped, about 30, 40 minutes later, it showed back up again and done the same thing.
Really?
And it just it done that until we got off the river. And after that second time, we got tired of it and we just left. And it didn't want us there, so we just left its territory.
Did you ever hear it make any noises, or?
We heard, I can't verify because it didn't scream out and holler like the noises I've heard in the past down in the bottoms, but I've heard like something like, it wasn't quite like a cow moose, but it was along the tone pitch, and that's what I heard. And it just, when it happened, it just, I can't really mimic it because it's so unique.
Yeah.
And when that noise happened, it just sent chills up your spine, and you can't copy it.
Yeah.
And it's something you just got to hear for yourself.
Yeah.
And I just think that, in my opinion, for the most part of them, I don't think they're going to hurt you. I think they just don't want you around.
Yeah.
And that's what I thought of that one until this next encounter I had. Okay. So stay tuned for the next video of Bigfoot number 3.
Well, I hope y'all enjoyed that. I mean, any encounter is scary, but I'm telling y'all, this next one that y'all are going to hear in a few days, it'll have you gripping your seat. So please, be on the lookout for that. But anyways, I want to thank everyone for watching. Please take care and hope the good Lord blesses everyone.